Today on CCX News, fishing opener impact. We take to the lake to explore what the fishing industry means for local businesses. About 500,000 Minnesotans are at lakes this weekend for the fishing opener. As Kevin Miller reports, it's as important to business as it is to anglers.
There you go.
Whether casting from the shore or in a boat with rod and reel, the fishing crowd is antsy to get out and wet a line.
I think the early spring had a lot of people kind of getting excited about, breaking that cabin fever a little bit and getting out on the water a little bit earlier.
With the warmer winter, I think people are getting the itch more to go out this summer. So maybe that will play a little bit in following into the opener this year.
And starting this Saturday, anglers can target game fish like our state fish, the walleye. Regional Fisheries Manager for the DNR, Brian Nurbin, has a prediction that comes as good news for anxious anglers.
Yeah, I think that probably fishing is going to be pretty good this year.
For those in the northwest suburbs, he says Medicine Lake in Plymouth offers great fishing opportunities.
It's got really good access. French Lake Regional Park has a really great launching facility, and they also have some shore fishing opportunities there, both from the shore and a fishing pier.
Cheers.
But for businesses, opener means more than just shoreline relaxation.
The economics of fishing are really important in Minnesota. It's literally a $4 to $5 billion annual industry. It has a bigger economic impact for the state of Minnesota than the Mayo Clinic does.
That bump in business is important for JR's tackle in Brooklyn Park.
It's starting to pick up coming with that fishing opener. It plays a big role on how the summer is going to go. We can kind of play that off how opener went.
The DNR says fishing license sales are up this spring. While that doesn't guarantee income for a bait shop, they're hopeful it's a good sign.
New people are coming in, getting worms, getting bait, all that stuff. But hopes would be that it stays steady throughout the whole summer.
Kevin Miller, CCX News.
The nicer weather this weekend comes with a word of caution from Plymouth police, reminding residents to remove valuables from cars parked outside. The alert comes after 4 recent smash and grab thefts, all in one day. A couple happened in a business parking lot near 494 and County Road 6. Another happened outside an apartment complex. Chief Eric Fadden says there's no rhyme or reason as to where the thefts are occurring and says 4 in one night is pretty unusual.
If your car is locked and there's nothing seen inside the car, those people are going to walk to the next car. They're not going to take the time to break in and just hope that there's something there.
Thieves have stolen keys, garage door openers, and other valuables. In business news, the city of Golden Valley is competing with Chicago to land a company's new research and development facility. The project would create dozens of new jobs. Baxter Healthcare is considering a facility on General Mills Boulevard for its so-called R&D Center of Excellence. Baxter makes products to treat kidney disease and other medical conditions. According to city documents, Baxter would make up to $40 million investment in the facility and create 100 new jobs over the next 2 years. If Golden Valley is chosen, Baxter would relocate another 70 jobs to the new center from an existing facility in Plymouth. Meanwhile, Maple Grove's former gravel mining area has seen significant development. Now there's plans to expand a proposed building in the Arbor Lakes Business Park. The Maple Grove City Council this past week approved an amendment to allow a nearly 200,000 square foot building, which is larger than an earlier proposal. This would be the 9th building added to the Arbor Lakes Business Park, which could accommodate a variety of future tenants. The larger building size is also expected to create more jobs. The building would be just west of Boston Scientific's new campus currently under construction. That project is expected to create more than 170 new jobs within 3 years of completion, with the target opening date being late next year. The development off I-94 is part of one of the busiest corridors for construction in all the Twin Cities. A Brooklyn Park church is celebrating a milestone much sooner than expected. Reporter Emily Haugen explains how Grace Fellowship paid off its $6 million debt years ahead of schedule.
A church is more than just its walls. But the price of keeping those walls up can be costly.
I think every church has a dream of helping their community, but they feel drained by the burden of their debts and the day-to-day expenses of running a church.
For years, Grace Fellowship in Brooklyn Park was chipping away at its $6 million mortgage.
We were $250,000 behind in the budget and had $43,000 worth of mortgage payments due every month.
Pastor Joe Boyd says that started to change one day in church when he mentioned the debt to Grace's congregation. A church visitor took note.
To my surprise, she donated $25,000. And we applied it to the principal, and I shared that with our church heading into Christmas.
One act of generosity started a chain reaction in the church, and within a year, a $1 million campaign was fulfilled.
We were able to pay off the mortgage and start to invest in our community in a significant way.
Boyd says about 90% of the congregation contributed, with donations big and small. The next step is investing it elsewhere.
We may not have a big budget, but we do have a big God, and we believe that God can do these things.
Boyd says the church has 5 goals, including outreach beyond its walls. Church member Scott Ward says he's excited for that chapter.
It's really good that we can really be 100% towards that.
And in front of the congregation, church leaders set fire to their final paid statement.
We're going to burn this thing up. Woo! We're not going to be consumed by our debt, but we're going to be consumed with a passion of what being debt-free means. On behalf of our entire Grace family, we are debt-free! Woo!
Grace Fellowship conducts mission work throughout the world. That includes starting orphanages and churches in Thailand.
He is one of the best high school baseball players in the state, and next year he's headed south to continue his education and baseball career in Texas. Here's John Jacobson with this week's CCX Sports Spotlight.
Champlin Park High School senior Tyler Fino has the size for a basketball player, which at one time he was. At 6 foot 6 inches tall, his height is intimidating as a baseball pitcher. And he has in recent years started to harness the talent he's been given.
It took me a long time just through the years to figure out that I had a little bit of talent in the sport. So just a couple of falls ago, I realized that I had a little bit of potential in baseball, so that's when I started pursuing it more.
And that'll be a called third strike.
He's real big and tall, big hands, and he kind of throws it from pretty close to the plate. I mean, he gets pretty far down the mound, so I'd say it's just kind of that intimidation factor of him just being up there and big, and he likes to work fast, so you're on his time, kind of.
Puts a lot of effort into what he does, his craft, so yeah, he's just gotten incrementally better like all the time. He's kind of putting the work into the offseason, and it's paying off.
Although just in his second year of varsity ball for the Rebels, Tyler's worked the past few off seasons with the staff at Pitch to Pitch in Rogers to improve his game. And he's a real student of the game too. Tyler says he watches a lot of Major League Baseball to study pitchers.
One of the things I usually look at more when I'm watching is just trying to see how these professional pitchers attack professional hitters, because figuring out that and making that step to the next college level is something that I can use just from watching the game.
He's always asking me questions, and it's kind of getting me ready for being a parent, I think, because he'll ask me some questions and I just shake my head. I'm like, I don't know the answer to that one, man, but like, I'll look it up for you. I'll try and figure it out for you. But yeah, he's always trying to learn, you know, super smart, but always learning.
That learning, and not just in baseball, starts for Tyler in the classroom. The straight-A student made sure he chose a good academic school during his recruitment time for college.
One of the big things for me was academics. I'm very academic driven, and so finding a good school that has good academics was very important for me. And then also is just finding a good winning program with good coaches that I knew I could build relationships with and go in and try and develop to be the best player I can be.
And so he chose Texas Christian University to continue his education.
Their academics are amazing. I think they're top 75 ranked in national universities, and after my commitment, you look back at their previous year and they made it to the College World Series.
Oh yeah, and it doesn't hurt that he can touch 93 miles per hour with his fastball. It's paired with a tough-to-hit slider that often fools hitters, and it's part of what is called tunneling.
Basically what it is trying to match, like trying to get the ball as deep to the hitter as possible before they break into separate positions or directions. Then it's just trying to tunnel your pitches so that they start in the same spot and end in different.
And that one over the inside part of the plate for a called third strike.
He's just such a natural thrower. Everything he does doesn't look forced. It just looks like it comes natural to him, and I think that's part of just being a good multi-sport athlete and someone who's not just been baseball only his whole life.
A lot of the other guys out here have just started copying what he does just because he's so routine and regimented. So I would say he's beyond his years as far as his experience, the way he handles things.
Champlin Park won the Northwest Suburban Conference last season and finished as runner-up to Mounds View in the Section 5 4A tournament. Tyler Fino is hoping he and his teammates can get the Rebels back to CHS Field for the first time since 2017.
I think we have a true shot this year. There's a couple of tough competitors in the section, but I think we really have a good team. We have a lot of younger guys, quite a few sophomores, quite a few juniors, not a lot of seniors, but we've been able to do pretty well, and I think we have a true shot at making the state tournament this year.
For the CCX Sports Spotlight, I'm John Jacobson.
A loss to Osseo Thursday night gives the Rebels an 8-5 record entering this weekend. Champlin Park's next game is Tuesday at Anoka. Thanks for watching CCX Sports.
Find more prep sports games and highlights at ccxmedia.org and follow us on social media.